Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode here on the PeerCraft server. So today we're working on kind of cleaning up a little bit of what we did in our last live stream. We we made this monstrosity up here. It's a mob drop farm. And just the system here, it's not working very well. So up there we've got Enderman spawners and Wither skeleton spawners. And I made it so high up so that when the Endermen fall, they die immediately. But the Wither skeletons die immediately also. And here's some come now. Bam. So they die immediately, which means that they're not taking any damage from these diamond spikes, which are basically as if we had killed them. And that's a factor because we need Wither skeleton skulls from these guys. And they won't drop them unless they get killed by a player. Same thing with the ribs. So we need to kind of dig this down a lot so that the Enderman can't spawn. Whew, that was kind of loud. Let's drop the mobs down. Hostile creatures bring down to 11. So we need to dig this down quite a bit so that we can put this here so that the Enderman can't teleport around and everything's dying from these diamond spikes instead of fall damage. So we're going to clean all this up and then we're going to dig straight down. Probably not to bedrock, but a good enough ways that the Enderman won't be able to spawn out of here. So we're going to crack on and get going on that.
Alright, so now that we got all that removed, we're going to be able to grab a shovel, actually, instead of our pickaxe. Dig all this out here. And I think we'll probably go down about 16 blocks. I'm not really going to count anything on this. I don't think it's going to matter too much, as we are going to still have Enderman teleporting away into caves and stuff. So it's not going to be super efficient just because we don't have a way to stop them from teleporting without actually finding all the caves and lighting them all up and then probably blocking them all off. So I'm not too worried about it. It's not that big of a deal if we have, you know, half of our Endermen teleport away, because the spawn rates on this are actually really good. So I'm going to get going on getting this all dug out, and I'll meet you guys back once we've got this done. Alright, so we got all this dug out. Hope you guys enjoyed that time lapse, by the way. So we're going to go ahead and start hucking in these windmills. Whoops. We're going to do 3 on each side. And I don't think I'm going to give myself any room here. So I think we're just going to do the 3 right on the edge, right, just like this. And of course we can extend this out as far as we want. But we'll probably just fill this in with the 8 on each side. I think that's what it'll end up being. But we'll do them just like this, and hopefully all this comes out symmetrical. Not a big deal if it doesn't, but just for aesthetics, it'd be nice if it did. I think this one would go here. Sure. Good enough. So we'll throw these 3 right here. And I think right here. And then we can connect all this together with these item conduits. So we just need to shift these first 3 in. Which is a little weird to do while flying, but we can do shift space. And then the rest of these we can just place in just like this. So on the one that was up top, I figured that if we just stick a bunch of item conduits on here, it does make it go faster. It's not much to look at, but having it flat like this, spread out, it might look a little bit better than it would up there with just a whole bunch of item conduits, or energy conduits. But I think this should look pretty decent. So we're just going to connect all these up just like this. And then one in the middle. And then just for the sake of doing it, I think we might just bring these down just like this. Come on. And we'll put the first spawner right there in the middle. So we want that one to be the Enderman. And the only thing I'm worried about is if these spawn on top. Where did that Enderman just spawn? So it kind of ended up down there. I don't know if these guys are going to end up spawning up here. But the range on this, we should have this good enough to where they don't. But they may spawn on top of the conduits. And if that's the case, we may just have to see if we get a difference with just having one line running to all these conduits, or if we get a much different result having it set up like this. But for this one now, we can put the second spawner right underneath this. And those ones seem to spawn decently. We shouldn't have to worry about those guys spawning up there since it's 1 block lower. And I guess we could just move everything down 1 block, but that's not something we have to do right now. So we'll finish sticking all these conduits in. And I think I have like 3 stacks of these things, so we shouldn't run out anytime soon. Oops. And this thing looks like it's spawning really quickly, which is really nice. We'll take off this last conduit here. There. So my only worry is that the Endermen are going to spawn really weirdly, or possibly not spawn at all. But that shouldn't be an issue at all. But the Wither Skeletons definitely seem like they're spawning in a lot faster than the Endermen are. And I'm not sure why that would be. But let's see here. Yeah, it looks like all the power's going to the Wither Skeletons and none. Well, yeah, I guess maybe there's not enough power running between both of these. So the Endermen are going to spawn a lot slower than the Wither Skeletons, but I don't think that should be a problem. These guys are following me around, aren't they? Yeah, I don't really want to go down there right now. But we have to just wait for the Endermen to spawn in so we can find out how those spawn. Alright, so the Endermen spawn in pretty well. I'm going to shut these off because I'm going to have a horrible time trying to kill these guys. Yeah, so the Endermen don't spawn in, like, really well, but it is good enough. I don't know how I'm going to kill all these guys right now. I don't have the best weapon right now. I guess I'll just do this. I wish I had looting on this, but I don't. But that's not really going to be an issue from here on out, as these guys are spawning in so quickly that we shouldn't have an issue with the skulls dropping. I don't think we got any. Oh, we got 1 skull. Okay. So, you know, decent spawn rates on those guys. So the only thing we have to do down here now is hook up our diamond spikes, which I didn't bring with us. So we got to fly all the way back to base. Yeah, there's the Enderman that just spawned in. So I'm not sure. We may have to work a little bit with the Enderman to get them to stay down there. But I don't think we'll have to work too hard on it. So that's should be a little bit of a time saver. But yeah, the Wither Skeletons, which is what we're really after here, we already have like 200 Ender Pearls, so it's not too big a deal. But we definitely have enough of the Wither Skeletons spawning in that we should have good spawn or drop rates for skulls and everything that we need. So we're just going to place all these down, and then we'll be able to set up the same setup we had up top, where we've got a vacuum chest, and I'm not sure with the spikes if this is going to drop solid XP or liquid XP. Liquid XP is the little balls that we pick up, and the solid XP is just going to drop where we've got to shift it to obtain it in our inventory. So I'm kind of hoping that it's going to drop it as the shiftable one and not the liquid XP, but we'll have to find out. So I'm just going to set this up real quick, and once I've got that done, we'll come back and see what we can get from these drops.
Alright, so I've been running a couple tests here. For some reason, the Endermen spawn in a lot slower than the Wither Skeletons. However, they do spawn down here, below this line here, so they don't get caught up on anything. So we shouldn't run into any issues. However, I did add 2 octadic capacitors to both of these. And again, the Endermen for some reason do not like spawning in very quickly. So if I just turn that off and turn this on, so you saw the rate that was going up. It was pretty slow. The Wither Skeleton one, if I activate that, shoots up pretty quickly. So the spawn rates on this are astronomically quick. So I'm kind of confused as to why the Wither Skeletons spawn in much faster than the Endermen. It may be because at some point I had a reserve of power here, but even with this completely drained of power and trying to get power faster, it's still going really, really quick compared to the Enderman. So I'll have to take a look at that. Maybe add some more power gen up here is what needs to happen, which again is a work in progress, as these windmills aren't exactly the easiest thing to obtain when it comes to finding osmium in the world, but they are pretty good. So we are getting rare drops out of these as well. Oop, that's not the button fly. So if we head over to our refined storage, you'll see, hopefully, some wither heads. We only have 1 right now. However, I do know that we are getting rare drops, as we have a withered rib here. We've got 13, and we only had 8 before. So we're definitely getting the wither ribs, which means we're definitely going to get the wither skeleton skulls. So we shouldn't have anything to worry about that. The only thing I do worry about is we're going to get wither dust and eventually ender pearls and everything from the enderman as well. We're going to get those at a pretty good rate, so we need to increase the size of our refined storage. I know we've got a lot of extra room now, but we are going to run out. So I'm going to go gather some resources, and we're going to come back and set this up to be one big refined storage.
All right, so we're over here at a refined storage now. And we're actually sitting on 6 wither skeleton skulls now and 25 withered ribs. And we can use the ribs to make more skulls if need be. But I think that's working really well. So we're going to move on to automating refined storage so that we don't have to make these parts, these processor parts, ourselves anymore. We'll have to do some of it, but not all of it. So the first thing we're going to need is a crafter. Or a pattern grid, actually. We can do them both at the same time, though. So let's see. There's the pattern encoder. So we'll make one of those. And now we need the crafter, which is right here. And I believe we need 2 crafters. So let's see. We'll need another one of these. And another one of these. And I think a machine casing. So we'll make 2 of those. And now we can place those down right behind the solderers. So we're actually going to remove these and put them back in a second, just because it's going to be easier to do it that way than try to get these perfectly placed behind. So now we need a blank block. Just use polished stone. So place the polished stone 1 block back, actually. Let's see. Let's pick that up. Yeah, so we want it right here. Just like that. And now we can put the crafters directly behind that. So just like that, facing this way into the solderer. So those are going to get powered now through the solderers into the refined storage system. So now we can place the pattern encoder. I'd say you can probably place this right back here. Come on. Yeah, right there should be fine. So that's going to be a little weird to access, but we're kind of short on places to put things right now, so we'll grab a couple patterns and we'll just stick them in. And now we can say, I want to make... Oh, we need a different pattern encoder as well. Which one do we need? We need one that's going to do it for the stuff that goes in the solderer. Let's see. Is it a pattern grid? I don't think it's a pattern grid. I'm pretty sure it's not the one that I just placed down. It might be a pattern grid, but I don't think so. Let me see. Yeah, I'm not seeing what it would be. But I'm pretty sure it's not this. So, because if we try to do this in there, I guess it will. I wonder if that'll work. It should. It might. We'll see. So, but basically, I need these three parts here. So, if I do that like that, I should be able to place them in the pattern that's directly behind that. Or the crafter that's directly behind that. Just like that. And I don't know if... I think we need an extractor. Why are there processors back there? Why are there 10 advanced processors back here? They must have been in the solderer when I broke it. Okay. So we got that. Now we're going to need some exporters, not importers. So for these, we need the construction cores. We're going to need 2 of them. So we'll do that right there. I don't think that was the right one. That's external storage. We want exporter. So we need 2 of those. So we'll make that just like that. And we can throw these. That might be wrong. I think I need to get below them so I can place them just underneath. So we'll dig down right here. Also, one of them stuck. So I think we'll do that just like that. We'll place the sand back after. I just need to make sure I have a space going in between. I don't. Ah, that's in the wrong spot. That was in the spot I was going to put the cables. I guess we can just run the cables back. That should be fine. It's just not going to look fantastic. But so we'll place these like this. And then we just need some cables. We only have 3, so let's make some more cables. That should be more than enough. So we'll get those on the hotbar. And we just need to run both these back like this. And there's a zombie coming at us. Just like that should be fine. So now we just need to put the parts that are going to come out into the exporter. So we'll pull up refined storage. And we want that. That. And is this going to do what I want it to? It should. Okay, so it started working the solderer. So now we can say I want that and that to be able to export. This shouldn't export at all. So I'll grab that. So now we can put that in there. And now we just need to do the same exact thing for the other ones, the completed ones, so these. So the advanced, the regular, and the basic. It's not called a regular one, it's called AI Improved. So we'll do it just like that. And now we just need more patterns. So we'll make 3 more patterns. We're actually out of glass. Do we have any sand? Probably don't have much sand. Oh, we got plenty of sand. Alright, so we'll do the sand. And then once we're done with that, we'll be able to put these as the patterns inside of that crafter, and then we'll be able to craft those as well. The only other thing I think we're going to need is, and we're kind of running out of room here, so I think I might move this. I think we should move that somewhere else. Probably up here. We'll just have to run some item conduits, or energy conduits up there. And down here we need to put a, what is it? It's a crafting monitor. So that one. We'll just have to make another one of these. And a crafting monitor. There we go. Oh, what are we missing? Glass, of course. Should have seen that coming. Didn't see it coming. Alright, there we go. So now we can put the crafting monitor down there. And that'll let us see all of the crafting operations we have going. So we won't have to actually craft anything ourselves anymore, which is pretty fantastic, I gotta say. We shouldn't run into any issues. So we just need a little bit more glass here. And now we should be able to make a couple more patterns. So we'll do that. Oh, okay, now we're out of quartz enriched iron. We'll do that much for now. There we go. So we'll get the 3 of these. This is going to be really weird now that I've got a thing in the way. So we'll take that off, and we need the one... No, we need the basic processor, the improved processor, and the advanced processor. Perfect. We're actually going to need 2 more. Let me see if I can make more patterns here. We actually needed just 1, I think, so it shouldn't be too bad. Yeah, that one's blank. We need the printed silicone. That guy. And I usually do a 3rd solderer, which I guess we could do here. But for now, I'm just going to stick these right back here in this. So we'll do these 3 in here, and we don't want that to be making these while it's doing that, so we'll put those in there. So that should do it. So now we should be able to say, that shouldn't be up there. I want it to display only craftables. Okay, there we go. So now I should be able to say Shift Control and then select, let's do 2 diamond ones. So it's going to craft one of them. We've already got one, and everything else we've got available as well. So we should be able to hit Start, and it should use both solderers at once, making both of those. That's why I separate those so that we can do both of these processes at the same time. You could use... Wow, okay, that didn't export. Why didn't that export? That might be a problem. It's an importer, or is it an exporter? I thought for sure it was an exporter. Because we're taking it out. But are we... I mean, I guess we're putting it back into refined storage. So these may be importers. Let me check on that, and I'll get back to you, and we'll find out what if we need exporters or importers on here. Alright, so it turns out it was importers, and we can actually just leave these blank, which is pretty decent, because that means we can stick a lot of stuff in there. And it'll all just automatically come out. We don't have to tell it to only extract certain things. So that's actually really good. So that's one less worry. The only other thing we're going to need to do is set up, and actually we should be able to do it with this system here. Let me see if I can find more glass. Yeah, we should be able to set this up to say, make the, is it 3 or 4? It's 4. To make the 1K, 4K, 16K, and 16K of these parts. So we should be able to say, I didn't actually need the glass now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, so we can just say do this, do that, make this, make that. Stick these in that last crafter, which should be fine. And no, we don't actually... I can have it automatically do it, but I think it should work just like this. We shouldn't run into any issues. So let me do this. We'll do craftables. I should be able to say, make me a 64K. And we're missing some quartz enriched iron. We're missing glass. And we're missing the wrong kind of silicone.
All right, so we smelted up some iron. It's all in there now. So we should now finally be able to hit the 64K storage part and do craft 1. Hit start, and everything should automatically craft. It's not. It's not doing anything. Okay, so I just jumped in with a chat with Clangedin and Navi, and we pretty much figured out that it's probably I have to make it in this pattern grid here instead of this one here. The processing pattern encoder is evidently just for stuff that you use other machines to craft, and this one is for stuff that can just automatically be crafted. So now, if we go to craft this, it should craft. Yes, there we go. Fantastic. So eventually, this is going to craft all the way up to a 64K storage part. And it's going to have to do some soldering action, I do believe. So it's not probably going to finish for us. Let's see where it left off. Did we run out of anything? I don't think we ran out of anything. It's trying to make quartz enriched iron, which it can't because I also made that with the wrong one. Okay, let's try that one and see if we plug that in and if it'll just automatically work. Let's see. Let's do that and shove that back in. There. Let's see if it'll just automatically do it. It looks like it is. Fantastic. So I believe I also kind of ran into this issue with PeerCraft. And I think it may have been the quartz enriched iron that I was bottlenecking on because of this. But now we've got a completed 64K storage part. The only issue we're going to run into is gathering of resources. But we should be able to automatically just craft this up. Not a fluid one. That's the one I want. Fantastic. So now we can replace this 1K storage disk with a 64. We just need to get a disk manipulator here, which we should be able to craft now, actually. Let's see if we can do that now. So we'll get 2 of those. I need glass. I don't know why I thought I wouldn't need glass. Let's see. I don't think we've got any. Yeah, we've just got iron. Alright, let's see. Do we have any sand left? I don't think we do. We got sandstone. No sand. So let's see. That's just that. Actually, what was it doing? No, yeah, we are out of glass. Okay, I'm going to have to go collect some sand. Alright, so we got the glass now. So we should be able to run out of quartz enriched iron real quick. Let's see. Let's make up 12 of that. There we go. Okay, so we should be good to craft this now. These are easy. We actually might run out of those, though, as we just crafted up a 64K. Alright, there we go. So I believe all I really have to do is place this down, like right here, and then put this in. And it should automatically take the stuff out and put it into here. Fantastic. Okay, so that was super easy, and that's super done. So there's one more thing I want to do.
And we're going to get some soul sand. 4 pieces, in fact. And 3 wither skeleton skulls. And we're going to go fight a wither. And depending on how this goes, this may be a to be continued episode. So I set up a little safe wither killing thing over here made out of reinforced obsidian. And this should not kill us. This should be really easy. We shouldn't have any issues. Please don't kill us. And let me make sure my hostile creatures is down. But this should go pretty quick since we've got the Sword of the Wyvern. So it looks like he's in there pretty good. Oh man, yeah, this is not good. Oh man. Alright. This is gonna be bad.
Alright guys, that could have gone a little bit better. We're going to do that again. I fixed this trap for the Wither boss. So the issue I had before was I had the 2 blocks of obsidian right on top right here, and I only needed 1, and it needed to have a space and be right in the middle. So now the Wither is going to stay in place, and we don't have to worry about him getting away. And they're a lot easier to kill when they're not able to actually do damage to you and they're trying to kill you back. So I've killed probably about 6 or 7 of these guys now, testing this out just to be absolutely sure that this works. But it does now, so we're doing a lot better now. But that's going to do it for this episode. So I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next episode here on the PeerCraft server.